40 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit. Hunger is gnawing at you from the inside. The bare wind slaps you in the face. You're wearing nothing but a mammoth hide, and the flint tip of the spear in your hand was carved last night. In the valley in front of you, a 30-ton animal is grazing. And whether you eat dinner tonight, whether the children in the cave will live to see winter, depends entirely on the decisions you make in the next 20 minutes. That is what the Ice Age was. Not the beautiful snowy landscapes you see in documentaries. For 20,000 years, half of the northern hemisphere was covered in ice. Sea levels were 400 feet lower than they are today, and the species we call humans somehow survived in the middle of this hell. Not only that, they multiplied, they spread, they crossed continents, and they became your ancestors. How did this happen? What did they eat? Where did they sleep? How did they manage to wake up on the coldest night without freezing to death? In this video, we will explore those questions. First, let us look at the big picture. The most severe period of the last ice age began about 26,000 years ago and peaked 19,000 years ago. Scientists call this the last glacial maximum. The places where New York, Chicago, and Berlin stand today were buried beneath ice 2 miles thick. 2 miles. Imagine 7 Empire State Buildings stacked on top of each other. That was the thickness of the ice. Where Manhattan stands today was being crushed at the base of a glacier. But just south of the ice, in the central belt of Europe and Asia, there was a completely different world. The history books call it the Mammoth Steppe. Almost no trees, knee-high grass, dry air, and bitter cold. This strange ecosystem fed the largest herds of grazing mammals the world has ever seen. Woolly mammoths, woolly rhinoceroses, giant deer, wild horses, and bison. There were plenty of animals to hunt. The real challenge was being able to keep up with them. And this is where humans did something incredible. They evolved not with their bodies, but with their minds. A mammoth weighs about 12,000 pounds. The average pickup truck is half that. You are trying to take down this animal with a stone-tipped spear. Alone, it is impossible. Even with 5 people, it is hard. But humans solved this in 2 ways. First, team tactics. Remains found across Europe show that Ice Age hunters drove mammoths off cliff edges or into mud bogs. The animal alone was stronger than 10 humans, but a mammoth stuck in a bog was no longer an overwhelming threat. They waited, they watched it tire, and then they drove their spears in. Second, tools. At the start of the Ice Age, humans had simple stone hand axes, but by the end of the period, flint work had become an art form. The people who lived in what is now France and Spain made blades shaped like laurel leaves, so thin that when held up to the light, they looked translucent. Making these took weeks.